Good evening and welcome to the last video of our reading series. And in the last two videos, we have almost discussed all types of questions that can come in your reading test. And today we are going to discuss the last two question types, matching headings as well as multiple choice questions. So these are difficult questions for most of the candidates. So we'll discuss both these tasks today. Okay. So from the last video, we have discussed the other question types, true, false, and odd given, then fill in the blanks questions and matching information. And today we'll start with multiple choice questions. Okay. So I have taken a passage from Cambridge 18 test 2, and this is reading passage 2 from Cambridge 18 test 2. Okay. So here we have a question. What point does the writer make about AI in the first paragraph? So here is the first paragraph. And we have four options. It is difficult to predict how quickly AI will progress. Much can be learned about the use of AI in chess machines. The future is unlikely to see limitations on the capabilities of AI. Experts disagree on which specialized task AI will be able to perform. So we have four options, and what we have to identify is what point does the writer make about AI in the first paragraph. Okay, so now as we have already mentioned, we have to look for the keywords in the question as well as the same words in the passage. Okay, so we'll go to the paragraph, and before that we can just go through these options once again and let's understand or let's find out some keywords here. Okay, so we can see in the paragraph, this has been the decade of AI, with one astonishing feat after another. A chess playing AI that can defeat not only all human chess players but also all previous human programmed chess machines. So we can see a keyword chess machine. So where in the option 2 you can see chess machines. So we have when we go through the keywords, we can see same words in both paragraphs as well as in the question itself. Okay, then we can read further for any other keywords. But many experts believe this restriction is very temporary. By mid-century, we may have artificial general intelligence machines that can achieve human-level performance on the full range of tasks that we ourselves can tackle. So in this paragraph, they are discussing about what we already have or what AI can do nowadays and what are the limitations and what can be expected in the future. Okay, so that is what the writer mentioned in or the writer discusses in this paragraph, and now we can look for the options. Okay, so thoroughly analyzing the options, we can see the answer is C. Why? Because in the end of the paragraph it says, but many experts believe this restriction is very temporary. By mid-century, we may have artificial general intelligence machines that can achieve human-level performance on the full range of tasks that we ourselves can tackle. So the answer is the future is unlikely to see limitations on the capabilities of AI. So you might be having a question like, why not option B? So in option B, the answer given is much can be learned about the use of AI in chess machines. But what is given in the paragraph is a chess playing AI that can defeat not only all human chess players but also all previous human programmed chess machines after learning the game. Okay, so it is what currently happening with AI machines or AI technology in chess machines. It can defeat the chess machines, but they haven't mentioned anything about there can be much be learned about the use of AI. Okay. So the answer is the future is unlikely to see limitations on the capabilities of AI, as in the paragraph it is mentioned as the where the experts believe this restriction is very temporary, so it can widen perspective or it can have a lot of opportunities in the future. Okay, so this is the answer. You can just eliminate the wrong options. Okay, So if you are attempting this kind of questions, you have to find out, or you have to eliminate the wrong options rather than choosing the right one. If you can eliminate all three wrong options, then it is easy to choose the right one, right? Okay, all right. So moving to the next question. So what is the writer doing in the second paragraph? What is the writer doing in the second paragraph? So we have four options here: explaining why machines will be able to outperform humans, describing the characteristics that humans and machines share, giving information about the development of machine intelligence, indicating which aspects of humans are the most advanced. So when you read the paragraph, you should deduce the meaning of the paragraph, or what the writer actually wants to convey. So here you have to apply the strategy of reading for inferences. So you just go through the paragraph and read and understand the paragraph in between words. So you heard about reading in between lines? So that is what you have to do here. You have to just read the paragraph and understand what the writer actually trying to convey through his message. Okay, so when we go through the paragraph, we can see, if so, there is a little to think it will stop there. Machines will be free of many of the physical constraints on human intelligence. Our brains run at slow biochemical processing speeds on the power of a light bulb, and their size is restricted by the dimensions of the human birth canal. It is remarkable what they accomplish given these handicaps, but they may be as far from the physical limits of thought as our eyes are from the incredibly powerful Webb Space Telescope. Okay, so what the writer discusses here is how these machines are different from human intelligence. So explaining why machines will be able to outperform humans. Okay, so the other options are describing characteristics that humans and machines share. No, we haven't find anything about the common characteristics of both AI machines and humans, right? So if we can just eliminate the option B, then giving information about the development of machine intelligence, no such information is given, so you can definitely eliminate the third one too. And indicating which aspects of humans are the most advanced, no, they haven't given any information on the same, so we can easily eliminate all the three options B, C and D, and the right one is A, and how these machines will outperform humans. And it is given in the second sentence as, machines will be free of many of the physical constraints on human intelligence, but they may be as far from the physical limits of thought as our eyes are from the incredibly powerful Webb Space Telescope. So the answer is A. Okay, so I hope you got how we can use this elimination technique. Okay, so we'll do other question. Why does the writer mention the story of King Midas? So when you get a question like this, if the question mention any of the names or places, we could easily find out the information from the passage, right? When you skim through the questions or when you skim through the passage, it is easy to understand, or it is easy to find out where the information lies. So in the last in the paragraph 3, you can see at the end of the paragraph, then King Midas. So we can easily see the information here, King Midas. Okay, so before that we can just go through the options. Option A, to compare different visions of progress, to illustrate that poorly defined objectives can go wrong, to emphasize the need for cooperation, to point out the financial advantages of a course of action. Okay, so moving to the paragraph. So in the last 2-3 sentences we could see, but the more powerful AI becomes, the more important it will be to specify its goals with great care. So we have to specify the goals. Otherwise, it is difficult to achieve its ambitions or its goals. So folklore is full of tales of people who ask for the wrong thing with disastrous consequences. King Midas, for example. So it is an example given for how or what are the requirement or how required is to specify the goals when we develop new things. Okay, so further, might have wished that everything he touched turned to gold, but didn't really intend this to apply to his breakfast. So to illustrate that poorly defined objectives can go wrong. So it is merely an example. It is actually an example to explain why it is important to specify it goals rather than just wishing everything touched turned into gold. Okay, so that what happened with King Midas, and it is just an example to illustrate that poorly defined objectives can go wrong. So the answer is B. And moving to the next question, what challenge does the writer refer to in the fourth paragraph? So in the fourth paragraph, we have four options here: encouraging humans to behave in a more principled way, deciding which values we want AI to share with us, creating a better world for all creatures on the planet, ensuring AI is more human friendly than we are ourselves. Okay, so moving to the paragraph, we could see, and once again I'll read the question. What challenge does the writer refer to in the fourth paragraph? So in the fourth paragraph, we could see, so we need to create powerful AI machines that are human friendly, that have goals reliably aligned with our own values. One thing that makes this task difficult, though the task is difficult, it means the challenge that can be faced in the future. Okay, so what the challenge is, one thing that makes this task difficult is that we are far from reliably human friendly ourselves. Okay, so we have to go through the options and we can check for the same information, whether the information given in the options. Okay, so option A, encouraging humans to behave in a more principled way. No, that is not what they mentioned. Then deciding which values we want AI to share with us. No. Creating a better world for all creatures on the planet. Not really. And ensuring AI is more human friendly than we are ourselves. So when you read the option, you can find the keywords human friendly, and in the paragraph also it is given us human friendly ourselves. So the answer is D, ensuring AI is more human friendly than we are ourselves. So that is the challenge which is going to be faced in the future when making AI missions. Okay, so the next question, what does the writer suggest about the future of AI in the fifth paragraph? What does the writer suggest about the future? So it is all about the forecast, right? So what is a prediction? So what the writer actually predicts about the AI technology in the fifth paragraph. We can go through the options. The safety of machines will become a key issue. It is hard to know what impact machines will have on the world. Machines will be superior to humans in certain respects. Many humans will oppose machines having a wider role. Okay, so we can go through the passage. For safety's sake, then we want the machines to be ethically as well as cognitively superhuman. We want them aim for we want them to aim for the moral high ground, not for the troughs in which many of us spend some of our time. Okay, so it shows where we humans lack. Okay, so if we do not have a plan, or if we do not have a high moral ground, we used to spend a lot of time in unwanted things, right? So where the writers suggest about the future of AI is machines will be superior to humans in certain respects, because people are wasting their time on irrelevant things or maybe unwanted things, because they don't have a high moral value, moral high ground. And sometimes people used to waste their time by spending on social media or maybe on a lot of things without any prior plans or specified goals, or that can be avoided, or it can be improved when it comes to machines, because they are cognitively superhuman and they aim for the moral high ground and not for the traps in which many of us spend our time. So the answer is C, machines will be superior to humans in certain respects, because they don't have they don't want to waste time in different unwanted things. Okay, so moving to the last question of this question type, which of the following best summarizes writer's argument in the sixth paragraph? Okay, so it is all about the summary. We have to find out the summary of what the writer's argument in the sixth paragraph. So we have again four options. More intelligent machines will result in greater abuses of power. Machine learning will share very few features with human learning. There are a limited number of people with the knowledge to program machines. Human shortcomings will make creating the machines we need more difficult. Okay, so we can go to the passage, and in the last few lines we could see this won't be easy given that we are tribal creatures and conflicted about their ideals ourselves. So in different group of peoples we can see there are a lot of ideas, and they have different values, beliefs, traditions and everything. So it varies according to the group of people, or maybe the tribal groups, or the nationalities. So it actually depends on different groups of people, and we often ignore the suffering of strangers and even contribute to it at least indirectly. How then do we point machines in the direction of something better? So in the options it is given, more intelligent machines will result in greater abuses of power. No, they haven't mentioned, the writer is not mentioning anything about it. And machine learning will share very few features with human learning. No, they haven't mentioned anything about the learning strategies, or the difference between, or what common with human and machine learning. And there are a limited number of people with the knowledge to program machines. No, they haven't mentioned anything about it. And the last one is human shortcomings will make creating the machines we need more difficult. Yes, because we have a lot of different values according to different groups of peoples. The beliefs are different, the traditions are different, the cultural values are different, and we have many things that are different from each other. So it creates a conflict in their views as well. So these human shortcomings will make creating a machine we need more difficult, because it is difficult for making all these customized machines as equal to the demands of other people, or each class of people, or each group of people. So that is the summary, what or how he summarizes the last paragraph. So the answer is human shortcomings will make creating the machines we need more difficult. So the last question also we have used the elimination strategy. Okay, so moving to the next set of questions, it is matching headings. I have seen a lot of students are suffering with these questions because it is difficult for them to make the right options, and it is quite confusing when you go through the questions, or when you go through the headings. It is, you may be finding a lot of keywords that resembles or that may be suitable for all passages, or sometimes you may be finding two or three headings that are suitable for one paragraph. So it is quite confusing for most of the candidates, and will sort out, or will I'll help you how to tackle these question type. Okay, so we have a few headings here. There are eight headings, and these are the list of headings here. And we have passages, 7 or 8 paragraphs given. So we'll read the first paragraph and find out the right heading, or for the we'll find out the matching heading for the same. Okay. So before that, we could just underline the keywords in the list of headings. So in the first heading, we could see the keywords are cold conditions, then assessed before, then good and bad, passed on, solutions to the issues of today, improvements, commercial orders, quiet, clean and fast vehicle, publicity, disappointing outcome, then a better option than steam cars. So we have a lot of keywords here, and we'll go to the first paragraph. Okay. So in the first paragraph, I'll read out the paragraph. When primitive automobiles first began to appear in the 1800s, their engines were based on steam power. Steam had already enjoyed a long and successful career in the railways, so it was only natural that the technology evolved into a miniaturized version which was separate from the trains. But these early cars inherited steam's weaknesses along with its strength. So when we skim through the questions, we have seen some keywords like good and bad, then passed on. Okay, so instead of passed on, we could expect some synonyms in our reading test, as I mentioned in the previous videos also. So passed on, it means inherited. Okay, passed on means inherited. And good and bad aspects, so the weaknesses and strength. Okay, so we can read it further if you want more clarification. The boilers had to be lit by hand and they required about 20 minutes to build up pressure before they could be driven. And these early cars inherited steam's weaknesses along with its strength. So these cars are passed on with its good and bad aspects. So the answer for the first paragraph is, the matching heading for the first paragraph is option 3. Good and bad aspects of steam technology are passed on. Okay, so we can see the synonyms for the keywords we have already highlighted in the options. Okay, moving to the next paragraph, paragraph 2. But the glory days of steam cars were few. A new technology called the internal combustion engine soon appeared, which offered the ability to drive down the road just moments after starting up. Okay. So they were mentioning about some of the features of the car or the internal engine, and the options given are, so before that we can just go through what we have highlighted here. A new technology called the internal combustion engine soon appeared. So the glory days of steam cars were few. Okay, so moving to the second one, a better option than the steam car arises. Okay, the glory days of steam cars were few and a new technology has arisen. So that is here given, a better option than the steam car arises. So the option is 8. The answer is 8. Okay, so moving to the third paragraph. Even as the market was declining, four brothers made one last effort to rekindle their technology. Between 1906 and 1909, while still attending high school, they built their first steam car in their parents' basement. Then they were discussing about the different engine and design and everything. And in the end of the paragraph, you could see its high pressure steam drove the engine pistons in virtual silence, in contrast to clattering gas engines which emitted the aroma of burdened hydrocarbons. Perhaps most impressively, the Model B was amazingly swift. It could accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 15 seconds. So it talks about the paragraph talks about the speed, then the silent pistons, the silent engines, and about zero emission, right? So the clean and silent as well as speed. Okay, so these are the keywords we can find in the paragraph 3, and in our headings we can also find the same keywords in option 6. Positive publicity at last for this quiet, clean and fast vehicle. So after a better option than the steam car arises in paragraph 2, what the writer mentioned in paragraph 2. In the paragraph 3, they have improved a lot. They have made a lot of necessary changes to improve the car's engine and the positive publicity at last for this quiet, clean and fast vehicle. So in the paragraph it is given us it could accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 15 seconds. So it's all about the speed. Then it is the engine's pistons and virtual silence. It relates to calm, and in contrast to clattering gas engines with emitted the aroma of burnt hydrocarbons. So it's clean, calm and fast. Okay, so the answer is 6. And paragraph D. The following year, Abner Doble drove the Model B from, then they were discussing about how they developed the other things, and how they worked on model C and model C by expanding model B. And at the end of the paragraph, we could see by the following April, the General Engineering Company had received 5,390 deposits for double Detroits, which were scheduled for delivery in early 1918. Okay, so it was all about the orders. Okay, so it is all about the orders they received for the cars. Okay, the company received 4 cars. In the options, we could see, so when we skim to the options, we have seen that in option 5, further improvements lead to commercial orders. In paragraph D, they were discussing about the different improvements they have made, and after that they received 5,390 deposits for double Detroits. So it's all about the orders they received after the improvements from version B to version C. Okay, so the answer is 5. I'm moving to the next paragraph, paragraph E. Later that year, they delivered unhappy news to those eagerly awaiting the delivery of their modern new cars. Unhappy news. And then the next sentence, it is given, those buyers means customers, right? So those buyers who received the handful of completed cars complained that vehicles were sluggish and erratic, sometimes going in reverse when they should go forward. So it is all about the problems with the or the complaints with the cars that they delivered, and these complaints are from those buyers, those are the customers of this car. And the keywords that can relate to this is option 7, a disappointing outcome for customers. So this is a news given by or delivered by the authority or the people developed these cars, and they were discussing about the complaints for the cars, and the option is 7. Okay, and we'll move to the last paragraph. It is paragraph F, and in the paragraph we could see the brothers made one final attempt to produce a viable steam automobile. So in the previous paragraph we have seen there were a lot of complaints from they received from the buyers, the customers, and after that they made a final attempt to produce a viable steam automobile. Okay, so in this paragraph they have done an experiment. After sitting overnight in freezing temperatures, the car was pushed out into the road and left to sit for over an hour in the frosty morning air. Okay, so it is freezing temperatures. Have you ever seen a keyword, something related to freezing temperatures? So it has given it as a period in cold conditions before the technology is assessed. So in order to improve the quality and in order to resolve the complaints that they have received even before, they assessed or they they have left the car in freezing cold conditions before the technology is assessed, to make sure that it is more reliant and it is more efficient than the earlier one. So you can just understand or deduce the meaning of the paragraph before going through the headings, or it is actually reading ability and reading skills are different from one person to another person. Some people find it easy when reading the paragraphs first and going through the options, but here it is better to read the paragraph and you have to find out what this paragraph is about and reduce the meaning of it. If you can just write it down somewhere around in the somewhere near to your passage itself. So if you are taking your pen and paper based examination, of course you can write down, you can just jot it down what this passage is about, so that you will be able to find out the information more accurately than just going through the keywords. Okay, then you can just relate those keywords, compare those keywords, or find out the similar words and sentences to find out or the accurate answers. Okay, so these are the strategies you can apply for the MCQs. You can go for elimination strategies and look for the same keywords, and sometimes mostly 50% of comparing keywords will help you to find out the right answers, and rest of the 50% you can go for detailed reading as well as reading for inferences to get the correct answers. Okay, so that's all about the last session of our reading. And well, so so if you want to know more about anything, then you can just comment it below. So I hope everything is clear, and we will be back with another series of writing in the coming sessions. And thank you so much for listening us and being throughout this series. And if you have any further doubts, you can just comment under this Facebook live page. It will be available for future reference as well. So thank you so much.